God made a problem for my game. Let me turn off fat thrusters for a moment. I've added a new feature to the game where the world starts off small seeming like this, but if you press tab, first it zooms in, but if you're already zoomed in, bam, shows you the whole scope of the situation. Just look at that majestic solar system, completely simulated on my laptop here. Or in a server. Let me show you how this simulation started. It started out looking like this. Things pretty stable seeming. This star just floating out there. And two stars supposedly in perfect orbit around the sun. But things get a little chaotic when I have more than two suns in a very unpredictable manner. Returning viewers to the channel will recognize this phenomenon as the three-body problem. As soon as you have three bodies and they're gravitationally attracted to each other, in my case they're suns, the behavior actually is provably not predictable. As in, I cannot know what the suns will look like 10,000 hours into the future. Then you would just have the three-body problem again. But yeah, very hard to predict. Impossible to predict. Except unless you have a computer. See, these computers, they defeat God. I really believe that. This was a problem given to us by God. How can we know what will happen? The weather is like a 10 trillion body problem. Impossible to predict, but here we are, the Weather Channel. People claiming to know exactly what will happen to some cloud 10,000 billion miles away. Yes, I know how long a mile is. I just felt like exaggerating. That's the story, man. We use computers. So what am I going to do? Let me show you a feature I added today for developers only for now called fat thrusters. By default, your jetpack in the game is very weak. There's this big universe, but you only have so little thrust. I'm not even moving that fast right now. I'm barely moving and I'm pressing full throttle to the left. I'm just barely escaping the sun's orbit. It takes ages to get all the way over there. This is how it is normally in the game. This is interesting for gameplay because it means faraway things become journeys. When I add enemies tomorrow, they're going to be tough journeys. If I go to the code base over here and enable fat thrusters, feast your eyes upon fat thrusters. Look how fast I'm moving. I'm moving like infinity speed. And it's jumping around a little bit because it's lagging because I'm recording. But my gosh, it feels so freeing to be able to move this fast. So fat thrusters is going to be one of many tools available in the map editor. Super easy movement plus teleportation. Infinite resources. Spawn and manage suns. We'll get to that in a second. You can simulate 1,000 hours of gameplay in 1 second. That's some godlike power right there. The idea is you have this really difficult problem, the three-body problem. Here's what the game's going to do. We're just going to take these initial conditions and use the fact that computers are really fast nowadays. And I'm the best programmer in the world. This is not actually true. But we're going to simulate 1,000 hours in an instant, so much time. And we're going to see throughout all that time if the suns ever collided with a planet or got super messed up in their configuration, if they weren't stable. And in this way, we can establish safe zones that are guaranteed to be safe forever. The UX still needs to be worked out. But the idea is you take a screenshot of the game like this, right? And then you run the 1,000-hour simulation, and it just simulates all the paths of the suns as a destructive red color. Like maybe this one goes like this. Maybe this one's going everywhere. They're all interacting with each other in chaotic, unpredictable ways. But we find just one spot where they never, ever arrive. It's like, bam, that's a safe zone. Or maybe that's a planet that's moving. We want to make sure the suns never touch it. This is all fine and dandy if you just want to confirm that your idea of what a stable configuration of suns looks like is in fact stable. You can verify that with this tool, which will exist in the game in the map editor God mode. And then he said, let there be an Astros map. But using the power of our minds, we've come up, me and my brain cells, come up with a unique way of tackling this problem. What we can do is just say generically, I don't know exactly what the configuration of suns will look like. But now I want there to be a safe zone here. And the computer will just chip away, trying every single possible configuration, moving the sun slightly and slightly a little bit until a gap is found. A configuration of the planets is found where as they orbit each other, there's a gap there and they're still in about the same position you asked for. How likely is it that a solver like this will always find a solution? I have no idea, but I do want to go program it because I think it would be really cool to have in game. There's this ancient Greek astrology computer, the Antikythera mechanism. And they don't know exactly how it was used, I think. But it's believed to be some kind of massive clock of the solar system. Deeply intricate. It took a lot of analysis to figure this out. This guy was kind of like a programmer. He's like me. This device would show you all of the future positions of all the planets, just in time. It'll be like that, but in the game. The in-world story will be the futuristic humans. They made something like that mechanism now, but that just works for any solar system. It was all I got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The update today has a lot more, is a reconfigured map for stability and fun. The gyroscope is unlocked by default. Many other fixes. Click the link in the description to play for free right now.